All right, fans of music, welcome back. It is Dave, the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you right there and just like me right here. All right, so Weezer, this band Weezer, they recorded a version of Africa, the amazing song by the group Toto. And from what I hear, I guess Steve Lukather likes it. He said he liked it and said well done and so forth. The song, apparently, Weezer's version, has entered the American Top 40. Yes, with Casey Kasem. No, without Casey Kasem, unfortunately. Casey has left us, and with some great memories, though. If you want to go back and listen, you can sometimes hear those shows being played on the weekends on certain radio stations that cater to the 70s and the 80s and so forth. But getting back to the subject here, the Weezer version, do I like it? Meh, it's okay. I don't hate it, but I think the guitar parts in it just sound almost computer generated, almost like they have no feeling. They're very sterile. There's a certain amount of what I call compression that lets the air out of these songs, and they become a little robotic. And I think the Weezer version suffers from some of that. But compared to a lot of the stuff that's on the radio, this song, the fact that people are hearing the melody of this song on top 40 stations it's a big victory for just fans of music. But it is tragic because Toto, the real band, the band that actually came out with the song originally, all right, and one of their most iconic songs, by the way, they released this compilation album right before Christmas last year, 40 Trips Around the Sun. And the lead song is a tune called Alone. Now with zero, and I mean zero promotions, the song is now over 600,000 views on YouTube and is probably one of Toto's strongest songs, I would say, since the 1980s, since probably maybe, I don't know what album, but it's a strong, very strong moment in the band's career. It captures all of sort of their funky side, their straightforward rock side. Luke sounds great on the track, and so does Joseph Williams, who is the current lead singer. I mean, this is just a gem of a song. And what's ironic is the Weezer version of Africa hits the top 40. And this brand new track called Alone by this legendary band who have pretty much influenced all of Europe, okay, Sweden, you go anywhere, Germany, and you say Toto, and these guys they're gods, okay, with the small g, all right? They are, and deservedly so, because they've created some of the most memorable music ever, and I wish somebody would go back and remaster their catalog and make it sound the way it needs to be heard, because all of the stuff that the band recorded, for some reason, the recording quality back then was so-so, and I think a good remastering would bring some of these songs back, would give them a boost, especially from the albums that came after Toto 4 in the 80s. There's so many good songs that deserve to be heard in full digital sound, okay? That's just my opinion, and it's sort of a tangent. But getting back to the topic at hand, you've got this legendary rock band that can't get the time of day on a rock station, on a top 40 station. You know, I mentioned to you guys about Escape Radio coming out of Class X Radio. I would check that out because they've been playing Alone for quite some time. But you have to dig for this. I was told earlier today that terrestrial radio is going gangbusters. In other words, people are listening still to terrestrial radio. It's where they're discovering music. The problem is, most of the music they're discovering is crap. And that's why I'm totally on a soapbox here talking about how somebody somewhere needs to, the little chink in the armor of this boycott to anything that's maybe older and wiser and guys with more melodic sense in one song than bands today can put together in a career, okay? No offense to Weezer. Like I said, they're probably in the top 10% of what the last generation has produced musically speaking. But if you're going to put them anywhere near Toto, I'm sorry, they don't belong in the same hemisphere. And this is why this is an opinion-based channel. And if you disagree with that, I can't help you, but this is my opinion. So what do you guys think? Should Toto's Alone be on the radio? Go listen to it if you haven't heard it. It is a stunning, perfectly executed slab of rock, pop, and soul, and it hits you like a ton of bricks when you listen to it, and it's everything that you love about Toto. I'd rather people focus on that than a redo of Africa, or better yet, go back and listen to Africa if you have to, even though it's a little overplayed. I think Toto has this wide catalog that has been completely ignored since probably 1986, maybe? I don't know. It's been a long time. They've got some albums in between then and now, and I think you might find some good music buried in there somewhere. Okay, I'm done with this video. Again, a good version, but nobody beats Toto. Talk to you later.